Okay, I want to share the best therapy that I found, and it is talking to yourself while running outside. And every piece of this is extremely important, all right? So don't like talk to yourself while running inside and then sue me because it doesn't work. You have to talk to yourself while running outside. And here's why. So Nietzsche famously said that he doesn't trust any thought that comes to him indoors because our environment definitely shapes our thoughts. I really do believe that our thoughts are either they're coming from outside of us or they're heavily influenced by the ambient energy of our space and things like this. And it's why we think very different thoughts when we're like on the top of a mountain versus when we're in a basement. So let's say you wake up and it's one of those days where you just wake up and you have these things come to you about work or about your relationship and you're just like, and you're in your head trying to figure it out. Sometimes I try like just speaking it out loud, and speaking it is an important part of this because when you speak something out loud, it slows your thoughts down to a manageable speed because the mind has no speed limit, right? But when you say things out loud, you're bringing things down to a reasonable speed where your awareness can really absorb each thought as you say it out loud and then deal with it in a more reasonable way. And so trying to deal with things in your mind that are happening at like 200 miles per hour is not very effective, but saying them out loud is. But you can't just sometimes, I'm just talking to myself for like an hour about some problem inside in bed and I'm like not getting anywhere. I'm just talking in circles. I'm not getting any new insights or new ways of looking at the problem. And that's where going outside comes in. So when you go outside, your mood is slightly different. The air is fresh energy is coming into you. Your thoughts are a bit better. And so talking to yourself is a bit more effective. But here's the real, I don't know what the good word is. Secret sauce. Okay, here's the real secret sauce. It's you have to run or do something like jogging at a pace where you can still talk to yourself. Because you know what also makes you feel good in addition to fresh air is exercise. And so when you're jogging outside and it's a nice day and you're talking to yourself about the problem you just have such a different perspective. And I also noticed that as I talked about the problem, as I'm like jogging, I'm able to kind of get new ways out of it or come up with new solutions or come up with new ways of seeing the problem so it doesn't look like a problem anymore. And as that's happening, I'm also like hyping myself up because I'm like, nice, like I'm figuring this out. And then I'm also running faster. And so it's this like two-way feedback loop because you at first you feel like shit and you're going to be running super slow because, you're like burdened by this problem. But you're figuring out, and as you're figuring out, you're running faster. And as you're running faster, you're feeling even better and you're figuring more things out. And then you're running even faster. And it just turns into like a great workout and a great therapy session. So yeah, highly recommend. Oh, one last thing, one tip I remembered for this is also when you're talking to yourself while jogging, you don't want to just talk to yourself in a normal voice like how I'm talking now. You really want to speak with your whole body like as you're running. You want your talking and your jogging to be synced, like energetically synced. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to be speaking like this. You want to be speaking, if you've ever seen David Goggins and he posts these shorts while he's running and he's like, the way he speaks is different, right? He's like, a lot of people say, Goggins, you're crazy, but they don't understand. They don't understand where I've been. They don't understand what I've seen. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what he says really, but the point is like you're changing your way of being temporarily and you're changing your way of speaking, and this is going to change your lens on the problem. And so, yes, you want to make sure that you're speaking differently. You're speaking, maybe even make it funny for yourself, I don't know, or make it epic. But yeah, you're basically trying to do something fun and productive that will also change their perspective on the problem that you're having.